Minutes from the close, it looks like it will be the worst close for the S&P in 8 weeks. We are hovering near the lows of the session. Taking a quick look at those numbers, Dow Jones Industrial Average off 153 points, 14,792. S&P trading down 24. A lot of concerns about Syria, a lot of concerns about tapering, a lot of concerns about who's going to be the next head of the Federal Reserve. Nasdaq, meanwhile, off 72 points. If you missed everything that happened during today's session, don't worry, we're getting you caught up right now on the only stocks you need to know about today. It's time for your top 10. Coming in at number 10 is Best Buy, trading down about 2%. The company's co-founder and largest shareholder, Richard Schultz, plans to sell part of his stake in the electronics retailer. Best Buy hasn't specified how many shares he plans to sell, but says this move is part of his strategy to diversify his assets.
Movado moving up 11% today. The company's second quarter net income surging 55%, thanks in part to increased watch sales as well as a tax benefit. Movado also boosting its full-year earnings and revenue forecasts. Finally, it announces a 60% increase to its quarterly dividend. Movado doing a lot of things right.
Number 8, TiVo. We were just talking about it. The shares are down 2% as the company prepares to release its second quarter results after the bell. TiVo has had only one profitable quarter since 2009 as it relies more on winning patent lawsuits and less on innovation. But the patent lawsuits now in the past, it's going to have to turn more to the innovation side. Stay tuned for TiVo's results coming up.
All right, moving on to number 7, DSW jumping 8% after the discount shoe seller reported an adjusted profit of 97 cents a share, easily beating the highest estimate of 85 cents per share. Analysts do say that DSW's products are resonating right now with customers.
AT&T down a fraction as the company announces it will be selling the Nokia Lumia 925 for $99.99. That starts on September 13th. Anxious customers will be able to place a pre-order for the device as early as August 28th. At that price, you got to assume they are subsidizing it like the iPhone. Means less money for AT&T, at least up front.
Number 5, JPMorgan. It's down about 2% as its biggest investor. It was higher earlier today, but its biggest investor plans to sell his entire stake in the struggling department store operator for about $500 million. That's about half of what he paid for it. The move comes 2 weeks after Ackman resigned from JCPenney's board, and now he has more than two, but really two big retail disasters, if you will, under his belt. This one and his investment in Target.
So he should just stay away from retail. Moral of the story?
That might be the lesson, perhaps. We'll see.
Tough, and you think of Sears, Eddie Lampert's big move into Sears. I mean, that's
a good point.
Years
There's a lot of talented people that have tried to, rejuvenate a lot of those
people
brands.
Who are non-retail people. I mean, that's sort of the key here, right? They're people from outside that world trying to understand it, trying to fix it. It hasn't necessarily.
Michael Holland, are you a Wall Street guy who's going to go buy a retailer, or are you going to steer clear?
Sarah was just talking. These are guys who have been in the investment business. And Eddie Lampert was at Goldman Sachs, et cetera, et cetera. So why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why are we surprised?
Number 4, JPMorgan, down 2%. A former trader wanted by the United States for allegedly falsifying bank records to cover up to $6 billion worth of trading losses was arrested in Madrid this morning. He has since been released after a hearing in which he said he was unwilling to be extradited.
Listen to that, Trish. There's the closing bell.
Oh, we better move it along.
Yeah, United down 7%, tumbling the most in 13 months. Crude prices are up. That is part of the problem there.
All right. Number 2, what could be number 2 be? D.R. Horton. Shares are falling nearly 4% after a report showed home prices in 20 U.S. cities climbed in June, but at a slower pace.
All right, let's get to our number 1 stock of the day. It's Tiffany. Tiffany trading down 1%, even though the luxury retailer reported second quarter profit that topped estimates. Tiffany there posting a 16% increase in profit as strong sales in China offset sluggish growth in the U.S.